So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. And I know what is a very busy time for all of us right at the start of January. I know some of you would have seen some of the information that came out in the last day or so about this new technology platform that we're releasing as Carnival Corp. But today we plan to reveal a little bit more about what that really means for the guest experience and particularly for Princess Cruises. As a new technology platform, this really is a breakthrough. It's something that doesn't exist anywhere else, and therefore we're very excited about it. It will provide, we believe, experiences that therefore aren't available anywhere else on the planet right now. And right now, as I'm speaking, Arnold Donald, the Chief Executive of Carnival Corp, is addressing CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, which is the biggest technology show in the world. There's over 4,000 tech companies exhibiting there. And he's giving the keynote speech this morning. Well, it's this morning there, this afternoon here. He's giving the keynote speech, and it's the first time ever that a travel company have given that keynote. Usually it is companies like Microsoft or Intel. This time around it's our Arnold Donald telling those technology journalists all about this great innovation that we're making within the cruise industry. So what's Arnold going to say? He's going to talk about his vision, and his vision is simple. It's to connect people, places and cultures around the world and to create unforgettable experiences. And the goal too is clear. We want to expand the cruise market and elevate the guest experience so significantly that ocean vacations become the first choice, with exponentially more clients contacting their travel consultant. So any of you who've heard Arnold speak before will know that this is a regular theme for him. He talks about the fact that the cruise industry, we're not competing with each other within the cruise industry. We're actually competing with the holiday market. And all of those other companies who offer land-based holidays. So really Arnold's vision is about how do we provide a guest experience that exceeds people's expectations so that we grow the cruise industry overall. And this platform gives us the power to do that, but it's not about the technology. This is about enhancing the guest experience. So Princess Cruises, we are the first brand to realise this new potential. This is piloting on Princess Cruises ships, and we can genuinely say that we will offer experiences that cannot be found anywhere else. This is going to be completely unique, and it is completely new. Princess Cruises is the largest premium cruise line in the world. Each year we carry 2 million passengers to all over the globe, and the crew on board, anyone who's been on Princess knows that the crew on board provide an amazing guest experience, and they work really hard to get to know the passengers' needs, their wants, their every desire. But this new platform really is going to give us added power to really understand what the guests want and how they can make the most of their cruise experience when they're on board. We have limited vacation time, limited holiday time, and this really is about maximising that experience in a very personalised way. Princess is also a great innovator. I think our history is full of innovations. So Princess Cruises was the first cruise line really to introduce affordable balcony cabins, which in today's world feels pretty amazing because those are kind of the standard that's now been set. We were the first line to have weddings at sea, the first line to offer fly cruising in the UK. So innovation has been at the heart of what we've done over the years, and there are many, many firsts for Princess Cruises, and this is another one. But when we innovate, it's not innovation for innovation's sake. These aren't gimmicks. These aren't things that we're just trying to do to grab a headline or attract attention. It's about improving the guest experience. And this new innovation really does epitomise that. It's all about the guest at the centre of it and how we are going to improve that guest experience. And about recognising that each guest that travels with Princess Cruises is different. And their needs are therefore very different. And we want to provide an environment where we meet those needs and provide them with experiences that are memorable and that make them want to come back to cruising again and again. At the heart of this is the Ocean Medallion. It's about the size of a 10-pence coin. It's got no on-off button. There is no interface. There is no kind of digital interface or anything that you can see, but it is actually a very high-tech piece of kit. And the medallion really is at the heart of what we do in terms of it connects to a whole ecosystem that we've developed on this new platform on the ships. And all you need to do to access this is to simply carry the medallion with you. So it can slip into your pocket, it can be worn as a wristwatch, it can be on a keychain, you can wear it like a medallion if you want to, I'm sure that's going to be popular. And just by wearing it, it opens up a whole wealth of personalised experiences. It allows you access to the ship, access to your cabin, and allows you to have these really personalised experiences while you're on board. But I've got a bit of film I'm going to share with you now, which will hopefully tell the story even further.
Now the excitement begins at home. Guests are immersed in the world of Ocean as they begin to explore Ocean Compass, their interactive digital companion. Not only can guests reserve signature onboard experiences like dining, spa treatments, and shore excursions, they can also prepare for their upcoming voyage in a simple and seamless way, thanks to Ocean Ready. A completely transformed experience is all made possible when guests receive the ultimate key to it all before they even leave home. Introducing the Ocean Medallion, innovative, one-of-a-kind technology that links our guests to a more personal experience. Everyone sailing receives a medallion as part of the experience, and guests can even choose to personalize how they would like to express it, with optional medallion accessories that range from active to luxury. Guests can engage deeper into the experience by designing a tag-along, a digital companion who starts at home and comes to life throughout the voyage. Ocean Ready revolutionizes embarkation day with a streamlined arrival process. Waiting in line and checking in is replaced by a welcome greeting that takes only moments, and guests can go directly on the ship. Once aboard, the medallion is all you need. Entering the stateroom, shopping, ordering drinks, linking to onboard photographers, locating travel party members, and so much more is now absolutely seamless. The medallion also triggers unexpected interactions, enabling the crew to surprise guests with unforgettable moments. Now, from the moment guests step on board, their vacation can be fun, relaxing, and full of new experiences. No IDs, credit cards, or cruise cards are needed. Guests can simply use their medallion and compass. And Compass comes to life on board the ship with Ocean Concierge, a persistent, friendly companion who ensures every guest can maximize their vacation experience. Whether fine dining, shows, shipboard activities, or shore excursions, Ocean Concierge ensures all experiences are accessible by all guests, and all recommendations are tailored to their preferences at all times. Staying connected is easy. Guests can communicate with their family, friends, or anyone on board, add personal preferences along the way, view onboard activities, and connect with social networks to share their personal vacation with the world. Vacations are made simple again when whims and desires are easily fulfilled using Here and Now. Guests can stay relaxed anywhere on the ship and still request their favorite food from the Lido deck or a cocktail from any bar, direct from their compass. Before they know it, a friendly crew member finds them with the order in hand. Looking to arrange for a favorite glass of wine later this evening or tomorrow during the show? There and Then enables the crew to deliver future requests wherever the guests may wish to be. Upon arrival at the theater, the perfect glass of wine arrives as requested, while guests enjoy guaranteed seating. Those interested in trying their luck in new and interactive ways will find gaming beyond the casino. Play Ocean invites guests to engage in digital and physical games all over the ship. Games will seamlessly merge into the fabric of the guest experience, starting at home and evolving through the vacation. Play Ocean brings a vast array of immersive games, engaging events, and deep interactive experiences. Throughout the cruise, memories are captured at the best moments and are available however the guests want them. They can instantly view and share all of their media right from the compass. Digital photos and artifacts can be collected and made into one-of-a-kind keepsakes that are sent right to your home. Personal vacation memories can be shared during and even after the trip. The medallion will enhance our guest vacations before, during, and after the cruise, making every moment more simple, more personal, transforming transactions into seamless interactions, and creating one-of-a-kind vacation experiences that can't be found anywhere else.
The medallion changes everything because it's at the center. It is the guest, and it's the way they are interacting with their overall experience. At the core, we're taking the service delivery burden off the crew so they can do what they do, which is interact with guests and make them happy.
So, you heard there about the key 3 components and how they all act together to really personalize that experience. So we have the Ocean Medallion, which every single guest who travels on a medallion class ship will have. So this isn't something that you opt into or is just for the elite. Everybody will have that, and it'll be part of their experience. The Ocean Compass is how you access that, whether that's through your own personal device with an app, or whether it's through the in-cabin television or the countless screens that are going to be around the ship that are going to support that interaction. But it all really comes together with the Ocean Concierge. So this is, I guess, this is where the personalization of the experience is really clever, because as soon as you get hold of the Ocean Medallion, it starts to gather and capture information about you, about your preferences, about your behaviors, about the things that you like, what you do, and is really updating multiple times per second. So it's a real-time evolving picture that allows the whole infrastructure to present you with things that are going to suit you and allow you to really maximize your time on holiday. You know, this intelligence that we're going to be gathering around about the guests who are traveling on Princess Cruises, we will then use to make sure that they really enjoy and maximize that experience, and it'll be personal to them. I mean, quite often in marketing, we talk about market segments where we're putting people in groups or herds based on where they live or how much they earn or how old they are. But this really is going to be a segment of one. It's going to be completely personalized to you, and it's going to be constantly evolving. And the three components will come together to really provide that experience which just will not be available anywhere else. And we believe that this is the future of the holiday experience, not just the cruise experience, but the whole holiday market will evolve in this direction. So it's fantastic to be the first ones out with it. So when are we out with it? Well, the very first cruise is this year. You know, this isn't something that's way off in the future. This is coming on Regal Princess later this year in 2017. These are cruises that are on sale right now. Royal Princess joins early in 2018. And the great news for us here in the UK is, of course, in 2018, Royal Princess is going to be based in Southampton for the summer season. So it's a great opportunity for us to get our trade partners on board and to get our media partners on board and have you all experience what a medallion class ship's like and what that whole experience is really going to bring. And of course, Regal Princess will be in Europe as well in the summer of 2018. Caribbean Princess is the third ship to get this, and actually Caribbean Princess is our ship that's doing Summer Caribbean in 2018 as well. So you know, that's a trade that we're reintroducing, and we're very excited about having Caribbean Princess being ocean ready. And of course we have plans then that we're not releasing at the moment, but to roll these out across the rest of the fleet over the next few years as well. So the plan is to have this on every Princess ship and to create this whole new class of vessels which are Ocean Medallion class. So just to sum up, I guess, what it's like. The Medallion has that simplicity of design. You know, it's a very simple thing to use. And I don't know whether any of you remember the original iPad advert where they said, you know what, this is so intuitive that you already know how to use it. Well, this is the same. You know, the whole experience is completely intuitive, and our guests will already know how to use it. It gives us that shopping experience, that invitation engine that we're used to seeing on the likes of Amazon, where your preferences are stored and managed, and experiences and things are then presented to you, promoted to you, so that you can really maximize your time on holiday. And it gives this ease of access of a luxury car. You know, be able to join the ship much more simply than you do today, be able to enter your cabin just simply by having the medallion in your pocket. So there's no waving it around over a sensor or anything like that. It will know that you're there and that you've got access to that cabin. You'll be able to access straight away. So this really is going to add complete simplicity and personalisation to the cruise experience. Now, I'd like to welcome any questions. So I will just caveat that to say that this is all really new. So if I don't have the answer to your question, we'll try and find an answer from the team. But I had a bit of a run with the team yesterday with the team back in Southampton, and they gave me a bit of a grilling, so hopefully we have most of the answers. We've got roving mics, so if you'd like to ask a question, then please let one of the guys know, and we'll see how we can answer them.
Hi, Dave Monk.
Hi, Dave.
What do you say to the passengers who think this is all a bit Big Brother, that you're going to be tracking them constantly wherever they go, whatever they do, and that they're perfectly happy with the technology of key cards as they are?
So what we're able to do is to switch off all of the preferential side of things to the extent where actually we would set the medallion in what we call a safety mode. So that allows things like the paying for goods, the keyless entry into the rooms, the entry onto the ship, just in the same way that a cruise card would today, but it takes away almost that kind of preferential data gathering process. So if people don't want that Big Brother process, we can switch that off, but still maintain some of the other elements of simplicity of the room entry, the ship entry, and being able to use the medallion to pay for goods and services.
Hi, Leslie Bellew. Just wondering what happens if you lose it.
Well, people will, just like they do today with the cruise cards, and we will have a process on board to replace lost medallions, just the same as we do with a cruise card or like any hotel would if you lost your room key, that sort of thing. If people forget to bring it, we'll also have a process at the pier which allows them to get a new one and then to access the ship as they normally would.
The second question, is it waterproof? I noticed it's by the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a completely self-contained unit. It's got, the tech is all on the inside, and you can wear it for all activities. It's very robust. In the middle here.
Hi, it's Manny Shabir from Forever Cruises.
Hi.
Just a question on the payment side. How does it happen on there? Do they have to have a top-up, or is the standard which you do with? How does the payment system work on this?
So very similar today, the guest will pre-register a credit card before they get on board the ship, and then it will add to the onboard account the folio, much in the same way that we do with the cards being swiped today.
So for the add-on, do they have to go to a terminal, or how does that happen on their medallion? How does that work? Really?
So the medallion will work in exactly the same way as the onboard accounts do
Onboard
today.
account. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hello, Sarah Macefield
Hi,
here.
Sarah.
I've got a few questions, Tony.
Okay.
One would be, first of all, how long has this been in development and how much has it cost?
In terms of how long it's been in development, it's been in development for the last couple of years. In terms of the cost, actually, that's information that we're not sharing at the moment. It's a very difficult number to get to, and of course, it's an evolving project, so it's not one that we're pinning down.
So can you sort of say how many figures, for example? I mean, is this the biggest investment that has been made in recent years in technology?
Absolutely. I think from a technology perspective, I mean, we've done the technology implementation on Royal Princess, and to give you an idea of the scale of it, we've installed 7,000 sensors, over 100 new interactive portals. We've installed 118 kilometres of cabling. So this is a significant investment across the Princess fleet.
And when do you expect it to be expanded across the fleet?
So from a Princess perspective, we've not firmed up the dates completely, but within the next 3 years.
Okay. And then in terms of checking in, how quickly will people be able to check in compared to now and the queues you may get? I imagine they can just walk through, can they?
Well, so the idea is that you do all of the sort of admin at home. So scan your passport, and the information that we would normally collect prior to check-in. And then the guest becomes ocean ready, which means that actually they can walk up and it is literally a greeting and then walk on board the ship. So much simpler to the process of today. Of course, we'll still need to go through things like the security desks and checking bags and that sort of thing. All of those processes will still be there. But in terms of the check-in process itself, it will be a simple greeting and then get on board because you've already got everything that you need.
And is it all, last question, I better not hog this, is it all powered through Wi-Fi, etc., internet?
Yes, so it uses the onboard Wi-Fi, but again, a lot of these sensors that are new to the ship. So we've expanded the network on the ships and implemented many more beacons and sensors and routers that are collecting and gathering this information all of the time.
So what's the backup if the Wi-Fi goes down, if people don't have their room cards because they're allowing their medallion to open their doors?
So again, we have exactly the same things today. If the card system goes down or the door locking system, and we have fail-safes and backups that allow us to manage those things manually.
Okay, thank you.
John Honeywell.
Hey, John.
Are the medallions for one-off use only, or will regular cruisers get a personalised one that they can use on any number of cruises?
So the medallion itself will be particular to that cruise, and it will have the cruise date and the ship etched into it. It will arrive before, and you'll be able to keep it after the cruise. I guess the key thing is that the information continues to evolve, so you can continue to update your preferences and so on. But then if you booked a second cruise or had another cruise, then you'd get a new medallion for the second cruise.
And I can understand that you're reluctant to discuss the cost, but which will be substantial, but you need to recover that cost. So how does this make more money for you?
Well, I think go back to the original vision, which is that we want to, by exceeding guest expectations, we want to create excess demand for cruise holidays. And we grow the market, and we, by creating excess demand, then we'll be able to grow and continue to grow our brands.
But are you expecting customers to say, well, I will book a cruise on Regal Princess because I get a medallion, rather than I'll book a cruise on a non-medallion class
Yeah,
ship?
Absolutely. So I think once people learn about this guest experience, the personalisation that's on offer, the ability that it gives them to maximise their limited holiday time, I think that they will be, there'll be high demand for those cruises that have the new technology.
One more question. Will the crew be carrying these medallions themselves?
So the crew won't have the medallions themselves, but they will have the devices that they can use that will understand who they're speaking to, will understand their preferences, and will allow them to better serve them. So, for instance, they would know whether it was your birthday, they'd know your favourite type of fruit, or your favourite drink, that sort of thing, so that they can say, welcome, John, I understand it's your wedding anniversary today, would you like your usual gin?
It's in March, actually.
Is it?
Okay, one other question then. You're tracking, and at any given time, you will know where I am on the ship as a passenger, but the crew, you're not tracking them to see where they are and what they're up to?
No.
Which you could do.
We could do. No, we're not tracking the crew. Where this is going to help the crew, though, is that they will, of course, know where you are. So if you can imagine you're a cabin steward and you're servicing 12 cabins, they will know that you've gone off to breakfast, so now's a great time to go and service your cabin. And it'll allow them to be much more efficient in the work that they do, which then gives them more time to better serve you and to meet your needs. So that's really where we're enabling the crew with this new technology to be more efficient, more effective in what they do. Thanks.
Hello, Gary Slade. I have two questions. One, who will be sending out the medallion?
Okay, so at the moment, we are working with a number of fulfillment partners. We haven't decided on a final one yet, but we'll be making those decisions shortly.
And the investment in Wi-Fi for this to operate, will that bring forward the day when you would have free Wi-Fi for customers?
So at the moment we have an extensive Wi-Fi network on the ships, and we've extended that certainly in terms of the number of beacons and sensors that we now have around the ships. In terms of the internet services or connecting to the internet, that will continue to run as it does today through a paid internet service.
But does this help improve, because always the thing, if you're in the Atlantic, you don't get good service? Will this help?
That's reliant on satellites and things like that, unfortunately, so no, this won't help. What it will do is enhance the Wi-Fi service within the ship or within that network. Connecting to the internet will still have the same constraints that it has today.
Hi, Stacey Smith. If the customer books through an agent, who would be sending out the medallions? Would the medallions come to the agents to send out, or do they still go directly to the customer?
So our plan would be to send them direct to the customer.
What effect will it have on safety and evacuation?
Well, it will help in a number of ways in that we'll, without doing things like roll calls or checking numbers, that kind of thing, we'll know whether people have attended the muster. We'll also know whether or not there are still people on board in their cabins, that sort of thing. So it will help us to do those things.
Hello, Louise Robinson, World of Cruising. Will you just be able to stroll on board, literally?
Well, so other than having to go through the normal kind of security checks for your bags and things like that.
So you just walk,
Yeah.
there'll be no sort of no security person checking that the picture matches the card? Or,
So they will, but it'll be seamless for you. So if you can imagine that you're strolling on board and the gangway's here, I will have a tablet, if I was the crew member who was checking that, and just by the fact that you are near me coming through and you're holding your medallion, I can see you're there, I can welcome you, I can check your picture on my screen, but I don't need to stop you and have you swipe a card or scan a barcode or do anything like that. So it should, yeah, it's literally going to be a welcome and a greeting, and you can walk on board. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Catherine Laurie. You said everyone gets them on board, so kids would, their entire family would have one?
Yes.
Each person. And is there a version where you disable it for the kids so they can't go and spend money
On
crazy?
sugary drinks and cakes and that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. So the same way that we can kind of restrict how people spend their money today and give them access to sign for goods or not, the guests will be able to make that decision on behalf of their whole party. And the other real benefit is this, the ability that you can see where your party are. So you can, you could be sat by the pool and you could see that your partner's just finishing up in the spa, your kids are in the kids club, or actually they might be in the theatre or something like that. And if you want to bring everyone back together, you know where they are. You don't have to kind of walk miles around the ship to try and find people in your party. So, and particularly for people who are trying to keep an eye on what their kids are up to and where they are, this is a great bit of technology.
But if you didn't want to be found, could you switch it off?
Well, I guess the ability to locate people is one of the safety features, and it's I guess an interesting scenario that someone wouldn't want to be found. But ultimately, yeah, they will be people will be able to see where they are. I'm not sure we'll be able to disable that, but that's perhaps something we should check. Yeah. And it would be good to have kind of like this almost safety feature, wouldn't it? That kind of someone would intervene, the light goes on the bridge or something that says, right, Tony's had 8 gin and tonics and he's heading for the karaoke. Can we intervene? It's time to stop that now. But no, it's designed about bringing your whole party together. So okay. I guess our assumption is...
So you would know where every single person is
within your party, yeah. As long as they've enabled that, so with your kids, obviously that's something that you set. And if you've enabled it as part of a party or a group, then yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Tony. Lucy Huxley from Travel Weekly.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi. I know you said travel agents wouldn't be expected to send the medallions out, but
Yeah.
presumably you want agents to know about this and to use it as to help themselves. So what are your plans for training travel agents about this new technology so they can use it to sell?
So we're working on a number of things in that area because yeah, you're absolutely right. This is new news at the moment, but in the background we're building new training programs within our agent academy. We are planning, the field team are going to be taking the training out on the roads. They're going to be explaining, what the guest experience is going to be so that travel agents can sell this. So we've got a whole training plan laid out over the next few months where we're going to be sharing more and more details about this. And then the other thing I think, which is something that we find works really well with travel agents, is getting them to experience it themselves. So particularly when Royal Princess is here in Southampton next year, we're planning to do a number of ship visits, familiarisation trips, where as many travel agents as possible get to experience the new technology themselves. And we're also we're in the planning process for what we're calling an innovation tour as well for 2018, where we will really be bringing that to life. We did a Comeback New tour last year where we shared a lot of our brand USPs. Well, this is arguably the biggest brand USP we now have going forward, so we're absolutely committed to sharing that detail with the trade.
Hello, Jess Treasure from PhD. I just had a really quick question on the data point. Is that your data? Can you then use that for marketing purposes afterwards once you've kind of got enough on everybody using these?
Yeah, absolutely. So, but it'll work in exactly the same way as marketing data does today. So if people opt out or set their preferences that they don't want to be marketed to, or they don't want the information to be gathered, then of course we'll respect that, just the same as we do today with any information that we gather. But you know, the personalisation isn't just while you're on the ship, it's the whole end-to-end experience before and after. And we want to use this rich information about the guest experience, the intelligence that we've got about their experience, really to make sure that we serve them better. So yes, we would plan to use as much information as we can.
Will it still work after my child has swallowed it?
Yes. Yeah. It will continue to transmit, even inside your child's stomach. Yeah.
Hi, Tash Salmon, Travel Weekly. I've got two just smaller questions. First of all, with obviously training agents about it and helping them understand how it works, what about kind of older customers and people that aren't really that confident with, maybe they don't even own an iPad or an iPhone? How are you going to inform them how to use it?
So we have a lot of the information that we'll gather pre-cruise is information that we're already gathering, and quite often guests will go to a full-service travel agent because they don't have those things and they want somebody to help them do that. And there's some great agents out there who offer that full-service experience. So we envisage that will continue. Now you don't need to have your own tablet or your own personal device in order to access this. The crew can help you with it when you're on board, so they'll have access to your information, to your preferences, to be able to buy and book things and that kind of thing. And also you'll be able to access through the television screen in your cabin and through the many interactive portals around the ship. So you don't actually have to have your own device or be tech savvy.
Okay, and another thing, when does it actually become an extra expense? Because it's saying it gets sent out to every kind of guest who purchased the cruise, but there were different kind of levels of like a sports band or like a luxury thing. At what point does it not become just like the ticket to your cruise? When does it become
the bit that everybody gets and is included within their cruise is the medallion itself. Mm-hmm. All guests will have the option to pre-select the accessories that they want. So if they want a wristband, something like that, then they can pre-order that. There will be a charge for those things. Or they'll be able to buy them on board. So how we deliver it will depend on whether they've pre-ordered a wristband or a keychain or whatever it is.
Sorry, I know I've asked a question already, Tony. How much are the wristbands and the luxury high-end watchy type things? So to give us the range.
Active to luxury.
It's what?
The active to the luxury, yeah. Yes. Actually, I don't have that information at the moment, but that's something that we'll seek to find out.
Okay, and the second question, just to go back on the point you were, when you were answering Tash's question about sending customers into agents, are you saying that travel agents could be in a position where they've got to help cruise customers set up their medallions and their compasses, etc.? So I'm just wondering how long that might take, and that's sort of an added task, isn't it, for the trade? So
it is, but it's not dissimilar to what happens today. So if somebody books with a full-service travel agent, but they don't want to enter their passport details or something like that in online, where we collect that information, then quite often they'll work with a full-service travel agent to do that, to visit them in the store and to go through that process with them to prepare them for the holiday. Now, the information that we're gathering in advance in order to allow them to access the ship, to have the medallion, will be very similar. So that process isn't going to be different from where we are today. The difference will be whether or not they want to add in the things like their preferences and that kind of thing. But even if they don't do that, as soon as they start having experiences when they're on board, we'll start to be able to personalise that experience and build that experience intelligence about that guest that we can then use to to tailor their holiday and really make it a personalised experience.